My name is Chris Campbell. I'm a practicing CPA and I work with small businesses and individuals to help them pay the least amount of taxes possible while keeping them out of jail. So today I wanted to talk about an interview that I saw, or at least a clip. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was a clip or a snippet of an interview. It was actually DJ Khaled, and he was on the podcast Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, one of my favorite sports personalities. I try to catch up with him on First Take when I get a chance. But nonetheless, the clip that I saw was quite interesting because it was titled that DJ Khaled does not trust accountants. And so I watched the clip, and DJ Khaled goes on and he talks about how he essentially pays all his bills and that he doesn't work with business managers for that purpose. Now, I'd imagine he has someone helping him with his finances, but I think the one thing that he wanted to point out was that he actually pays his bills, and that's not something that he has a business manager do. And as someone that's in the profession, I actually agree with him 100%. You don't need a business manager to pay your bills. But at the end of the day, I don't think that is the sole purpose of what a business manager should be doing. It is your money, and you got to have some sort of buy-in to cover your bills. To kind of paraphrase what he said, is that no one's going to watch over your money better than you. That was my takeaway from him. He didn't say that exactly, but I think he had mentioned something to the point where if you start spending money, you actually see your account balance starting to go down. This would make you a bit more inclined to do something more about it. So I agree with that wholeheartedly, that it's really not something that you should employ a business manager to do. But with that said, I wanted to go through a few things that I think business managers are good for. If you're in the market for getting a business manager, these are some of the things that you should have your business manager do, because I don't want the impression that business managers are not necessary. They are, but just not in the capacity of paying the bills. A few things that you should have your business manager doing. One is to vet vendors, especially if you have a bit of notoriety or people know that or think or know that have money. Sometimes vendors look to take advantage of that and or overcharge for things. Vet vendors and provide advisory on large purchases. So for example, if you're buying vehicles or if you're buying a home, what sort of interest rate is the market and for what you should be paying? I've seen situations where clients get taken advantage of and they start paying exorbitant interest rates on things, but sometimes you just didn't know any better. So sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So you should have a business manager in place. Your business manager should be able to educate you as far as what you should be paying for things, helping you obtain financing, and just vetting vendors just to make sure that you're not overpaying for things that you should. That's one. The other is tax optimization. Your business manager should be able to work with you to do tax planning, to optimize your tax liability. Are you working with your finances properly to make sure that you are paying the least amount of taxes possible, that your entities should be structured properly? Maybe there are things that, let's say if you're paying for kids, that you can pay for by simply putting the child on payroll. So there's a number of things that you may be able to intertwine your personal finances with to make sure that you're in an optimal tax situation. Another thing the business manager should be doing is setting budgets. As someone that might be in the sports or entertainment field, they hear these figures, and you didn't really have money like that, and all of a sudden you make a lot of money. You hear these figures and you think, oh my goodness, it's an infinite amount of money and that the money will never run out. But your business manager should be there to set budgets for you, to say, hey, look, you might have a $30 million contract, or you might have made a couple $1,000,000 from a show, or you had this amount of income. But you got to account for taxes. You got to account for agents and managers that sometimes work based upon a percentage of what you bring in. You hear that you're making all this money, but it's not your actual spending, capital. So your business manager should have controls in place, and also to educate you to say, hey, you bought in, this is going to taxes, this is going to the manager, this is going to the agent, this is your overhead, this is what you have as far as discretionary income is concerned. So the business manager should help you budget for that. So you know how much you actually have to spend. And then the last thing that a good business manager will do is they'll vet business opportunities. Usually when you have a good amount of fame, notoriety, and or money, you don't necessarily need the fame, but let's say if you have a good amount of money and people know it, you're presented with a lot of business opportunities, and you don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake, you don't know what's a scam, i.e. take a look at what's happening with DJ Envy and the real estate shenanigans that's been going on with his partners. People get presented with business opportunities. There's a prime example of it. Your business manager should be able to vet those opportunities, see what's realistic, what's not. Do you actually have the capital to invest? So those are the four key things that you should be using a business manager for, and not using a business manager to pay your personal bills. From a business standpoint, I can understand you may have someone pay some of your business bills, which is a little different. That's a whole other set of controls that one should have in place to make sure that money doesn't go missing that way. But from a personal standpoint, um, you probably be paying your own bills. And there's a lot of technology out there where you have an auto pay, or if you have someone physically do it, you approve the payments. Sit down with a person once a month and approve payments. I know sometimes you're busy, people have a lot of things going on, but you should never be too busy to take care of your money. As I said, a lot of tools out there to help streamline the process. So the moral of the story here is you should be paying your own bills and use business managers as guides, so to speak. Let them identify areas that you can improve once you actually spend the money so that you can then improve. You probably shouldn't be letting business managers go and spending your money and then telling you about it. So that's all for now. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any more questions about this or any other tax, accounting, business management related questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. All right, that's all for now, and I'll talk to you in the next one.